we're just hoping that Ghana will be able to spring surprises and that all the African teams will do well at the World Cup. Well, let's switch gears now. Still talking football, but this time in Europe. We talked about our player that was caught in the web recently, Sam Soldier. But now UEFA had a meeting in Spain, and the issue that really dominated the headlines: match fixing. Well, let's allow you listen to General Secretary Italian Gianni Infantino this morning. The plans by UEFA to curb match fixing in Europe.
It is one of the UEFA priorities to fight against match fixing. We are monitoring over 32,000 matches a year, UEFA competition, national competitions as well. We know that there is only a very limited number, some 0.7% of matches who are not necessarily fixed but who present some suspicious pattern, and UEFA has a zero tolerance policy against match fixing, as it has demonstrated in the past, and it's important that this zero tolerance policy is also taken over by national associations. And in this respect, there is an idea, there is a proposal to present a resolution to the Congress in Astana in March in order to strengthen and coordinate the fight against match fixing at European level, and therefore we are starting a consultation process now with all associations in order to get their input for this resolution.
Like Gianni Infantino speaks, you would want to take him seriously, and we are hoping that match fixing would maybe be a thing of the past or drastically reduced, because over the years we've talked about match fixing just like the wind. They exist. There's no face to it. Now that some people are being caught in the web, maybe something can be done that would just take this ugly thing out of football.
The Italians have not been ever taking a match fixing so easily. You remember the case of Juventus, AC Milan, where they had to be demoted to the Serie B, and it's just
English football has been affected in recent times.
Absolutely, and with this kind of decision, if you are caught in the act, then you should get a heavy punishment, and once you get a punishment as a deterrent, so subsequently others will know that, look, if you indulge in this is the kind of punishment you'll be meted out to. For players who are involved, I think they should just receive once they get those every fines, then they will desist from it.
Okay, a lot of people have accused us of always bringing out the negatives from Brazil and South America, but this is not Brazil. This is Argentina, and what you have on screen. You're looking at this because we fear that we hope we don't get to see this in Brazil. Boca Junior fans celebrating, but it turned ugly. It was a clash with the police, and this was what you had. I pray that ugly scenes like this will not be witnessed. Maybe when Nigeria wins, the fans will want to celebrate and the police just comes and But what do you feel seeing things like this on a day that should be a day of celebration and joy, and it turns out this way?
I think I will hit the blame on the police. Yes, okay. Because these guys were actually jubilating, and they were not trying to,
even though they were shouting slogans and saying some things.
So yeah, it doesn't affect anything. I think the police should have just let them enjoy their celebration, as long as they don't break the normal the rules guiding the state or the country.
Okay.
Coming out to actually
fans should be allowed to celebrate. That's what you mean.
Yes, they should be allowed to celebrate, but once they start breaking or destroying things, then they should be cautioned.
Even if their celebration can can cause trouble.
No, if it's going to cause trouble, then there should be other means of actually breaking it up. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's go look at the papers on the show this morning. We'll quickly run through the papers before we give you a slice of the other things we have. Well, we'll start with complete sports this morning. Iran must fall in opening game. That's coming from Super Eagles and Chelsea midfielder John Mikel Obi. Well, that's the lead story in Friday's edition of Complete Sports. And the top corner, you have Bring on Bayern, Barca or Real. That's coming from Matthew Flamini and Per Mertesacker, both play for Arsenal. Okay, and other stories on top of the world, you can see Neymar in the top right hand corner of the paper, and a whole lot of interesting stories coming out of Complete Sports, the Friday edition. Anichebe doubtful for Cardiff trip. That story is on page 14. We're sorry. That's coming from Lionel Messi. Okay. You really want to get a full gist of why someone is saying is sorry. Grab a copy of Complete Sports. Well, we move to our next paper for review, which is Sports Day. And talking about Brazil 2014, Iran, Bosnia are dangerous. Comments attributed to John Mikel Obi. That story is on page 3 of today's Sports Day. Top corner, you have Milner leads City charge. We'll talk about that later on. Top of the table clash between Manchester City and Arsenal. Chelsea reopen Rooney move. Arsenal mourn Higuain scare. Those are the stories you have in Friday's edition of Sports Day. Other stories: Mozambique taunt Chan Eagles. That story is on page 3. Alan Paso Hills Showroom's style. Okay, that story is on the back page of today's Sports Day. Neymar hailed for dribbling Ambrose. Well, I didn't like what I saw when Barcelona took on Celtic, and you're afraid that at the World Cup,
this was the same player at the time that was last week on the show. We talked about the words coming out of these players. He talked about the fact, he was saying, bring on Argentina, bring on all the top
see what Messi, Neymar did.
Look at what has just happened.
Okay, last one for review this morning. Mikel warns, well, he's giving a warning. He says Iran, Bosnia are dangerous. They could be tougher than Argentina. That story is on page 14, and you have a whole lot of interesting story. Emenike turns ninja. That's him there in your picture on page 15, and a whole lot of other stories that you have in the papers today. So grab a copy of the papers and see and get the full gist of some of the stories we've read to you this morning. Well, before we close the show this morning, let's quickly take a look at the big games in Europe across the leagues. Well, in England, easily pick of the pack, Manchester City will take on league leaders Arsenal. Tottenham will take on Liverpool. Newcastle take on Southampton. In the Italian Serie A, Napoli take on Inter Milan. And of course, in the Spanish League, Atletico Madrid takes on Valencia. These are some of the games the matches to look out for in Europe. Okay, but before we go this morning, let's quickly talk about Manny Pacquiao. Your parting shot, Manny Pacquiao. Who do you think is going to be his next opponent? Some people are already saying it might be Floyd.
Yeah, but I think it should be Floyd Mayweather. For me, these are the two best when it comes to
not Juan Manuel Marquez, not Timothy Bradley.
I think it should be
match for Brandon Rios.
No, it should be Floyd Mayweather. I think I would love to watch both of them jostle for that sport. It's going to be very exciting.
You think Manny is back?
Floyd Mayweather, you want my view here?
No. Do you think Manny is back?
He's back. He's back after two losses. He has come back with that victory, and of course, fighting against Floyd Mayweather. I think it's going to be fireworks. Very exciting.
Kunle and most of us boxing fans would love to see that bout take place. Floyd Mayweather and this man in your picture, Manny, the Pac-Man Pacquiao. Okay, that's how we wrap things up on the show this morning. We really hope that you've enjoyed what we brought to you this morning. You can join us later tonight when we have more times on our hand for Sports Tonight. Well, that's how we leave you this morning. Join us next week.
Romero. Ramsey trying to track him. Higuain, Takehon to Higuain. Goal! Gonzalo Higuain with that all-important first goal. It may not be enough to knock Arsenal out, but it might just be enough to take Napoli through.
Well, he's had one or two half chances tonight, hasn't he? And that was probably nothing more than a half chance, but yet again Takehon moved into the middle, has the all-important pass into his centre forward, but he's got a lot to do after that, and he does it really well. And you sensed they were getting closer to making the breakthrough.
Knew that it was going to produce, or you sensed it was going to produce something extraordinary. And goodness me if it hasn't, with almost the final kick of it. Maybe more to follow if Arsenal can really rub their noses in it by snatching one and preserving their unbeaten away record.
Well, they can go out with their heads held high, Napoli, after the second half performance. It's not going to make them feel much better though.
Why did they leave it so late? Why did they leave it to chance? I'm sure will be some of the questions asked for Rafael Benitez. They wasted the first half in terms of getting themselves any sort of foothold in the game. Pretty lukewarm in terms of what they threw at Arsenal, and I suppose we have to credit the Arsenal performance for that as well. And Arsenal's 10 men holding out. Insigne, oh, he's got it through to Callahan, no flag! Second goal! Well, I make it 30 seconds left. If Napoli manage some...